As we see an end to December 2024 and the new year approaching, FreeCAD version 1.1 is already in development and progressing as we speak. One area that really excites me is that some fantastic features have already been added to the sketcher. So let's have a look to see what's available. So to start in version 1.1, the sketcher axes are of infinite length. So if I zoom out, you can see no matter how far I go, those axes are still on screen. Comparing this to the current version, version 1, if I zoomed out, you notice that we can easily get lost, making alignment and constraint to those axes that much harder. That's been solved in version 1. A long-awaited feature is being able to drag multiple geometries in the sketcher. So in 1.1 now, let's say I place something like a B-spline, and I'm going to add the B-spline onto the screen, hit escape, and we'll add another one down here as well, and hit escape again. So I've got two B-splines here. I can click and add these to the Hungary selection. So if I click once, that's added to the Hungary selection. Click the other one, so is that. Now if I click and drag, both of those will drag, including the control points of the B-spline. Comparing this to version 1, if I add some B-splines in here, then the behavior is different. If I select one and try to drag it, it's fine. If I select the other, they're both selected, try to drag those, it's only going to drag the last one we selected. This makes manipulating our sketches much more easier. The next new feature is the new external geometry tools for projection and intersection. If we create a new sketch, let's go along the XZ plane and hit OK. If I create a sketch in here, let's say a couple of arcs, then if I create a sketch that intersects these arcs along this plane here, the YZ, so new sketch along the YZ plane, hit OK. With the current tool as it stands, which is this one, projection geometry, we only get one in version 1 of FreeCAD. It's this one here. If I pulled in this top arc, we get projection of the arc from the plane. You can see from the right, we're looking at the arc straight on, we get the projection of that arc along with the endpoints. But what I want is a point here where the arc intersects the sketch. And this is where the other tool comes into play, to create external intersection geometry. Click that, click the arc now. We get a point of where it intersects the sketch. And the same for this one. So if I close, we can see no point has been created. But if I attach some geometry to that, let's say a line connecting up to this point and this point, hitting close, we have the line in there. If I take that sketch and change its attachment, but the map mode of flat face because it's on the plane, and the position along the Z, you change that now and click off, it's going to conform to those arcs because it's been attached at the intersection. So this is really handy if you're creating, say, cross sections for these lines and using them as some kind of scaffolding. So if I wanted to loft in this shape, I can create cross sections that attach to the scaffolding sketches. Going back to the geometry tool, if I delete those, we have some new features. Let's say we add a rectangle in here, close, and pad this with some thickness. 10 mil will do. If I sketch upon this face and I use the import geometry tool, let's go for the projection. When I import the geometry now, let's import that line. If I close out, you'll notice something, that this new sketch we created, there's a line in there. Though I haven't sketched the line, I've just imported the geometry. If I hide the pad, we can now decide whether our line is imported as standard geometry or we can toggle it to construction mode. Let's double click. I can finish this line with, say, a polyline and make something in here without resketching this line. Hit escape and close. You can see that there. And we just pad that like so. And OK that. If we didn't want that line and we just wanted the standard behavior, we can just select it and right click and toggle to construction geometry. So now when I close, you can go into error and we just delete that pad. And that's because we have an open sketch. Let's just go back in and we can toggle that back to standard geometry and close. Going back to the tool, I'll click on the sketch. If I use the tool now, I can actually import faces as well. So I can import this whole face, or if we close, click on the sketch and pad this, hit OK. And we'll create a new sketch upon this face and use the tool. I'll roll over the faces. I can import the whole face as one. I've imported the whole of this shape here. Means when I close by that pad, we've got the whole of that shape, which we can toggle to construction or standard geometry as we see fit. Go back in and I'm just going to highlight that and hit delete and use the other one and hit close. You can see that there. On top pad. As well as the imported geometry, being able to see outside, we can run operations against this within the sketcher, such as the offset our geometry using the imported geometry as the base. So I'll close that now. What we'll have is this shape here. So all these improvements expand the utility of external geometry and allows for better sketching workflows. With these improvements, FreeCAD is becoming even more versatile and user-friendly. Each new feature adds significant value, whether it's improving workflows, enhancing precision, or reducing manual effort. I'm really looking forward to seeing these updates in the future and even more refinement for the user experience. Hope you enjoyed that video and I hope to see you in the new one. If you like what you see and you want to donate to the channel, then you can do so via Ko-Fi or Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/MANG0 or via PayPal at paypal.com/PayPalMe/DarrenBEstone. I also run a Patreon where you can get early access and additional content, and that's at patreon.com/MangoJellySolutions. Links can be found in the channel header, on the About page, or in the descriptions of these videos. I thank everybody that's donated so far. It really helps to keep the lights on so I can produce more content and also expand the channel. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing to these videos, and I hope to see you again in the next one.